All right, so the next two things that we need to talk about with regard to the data model in Tableau are joins and unions. Simply joins combine two tables via common fields, and the result is a join table, and the join table is extended horizontally by adding columns of data to the exist to an existing table. A union combines tables via appending rows, and both tables must have the same same number of columns. And union tables are extended vertically by adding rows of data. So some information about joins. When creating a join, the fields used in the join must be the same data type. And just as we saw in the previous video, always check your data after the join to ensure the data model is what you expect. So run some of the, do any of those different validating exercises. The resulting join is now a denormalized table. That is, the redundancy and duplications may now be present in this new joined table. If that's the case, there are ways of removing the duplicates. But you just need to be aware that that's a possibility, so it doesn't lead you to incorrect analysis. There are 4 different join types: inner join, left join, right join, and full outer join. The result of an inner join is a join table that contains values that have matches in both tables, and matches are based on a common field between the two different tables. In a left join, the result is a join table that contains all the values, meaning all the records from the left table, and any corresponding matches from the right table. And again, matches means based on a common field between the two tables. Any non-matching right table data will be replaced with nulls. A right join results in a join table that contains all the values, meaning all the records from the right table, and any corresponding matches from the left table. Again, matching means is determined based on a common field between the two, and any non-matching data from the left table will be replaced with nulls. A full outer join, the result is a table that contains all the records from both tables, and whenever there are non-matching rows between the left and the right table data, that will be replaced with nulls. So let's see how we create joins in Tableau. Okay, in this video, I'm going to show you how to do joins. I'm going to show you how to do a join when we're using a single connection. Right now we have a single connection to our Superstore Excel spreadsheet. And then I'm going to show you how to make a multi-database or multi-data source connection. So first, let's drag orders over onto our relationship canvas, or our logical canvas. And then if I were to drag any of these over, people, you can see the noodle appears, and Tableau is trying to create a relationship, right, which we might want to use. But if we want to have a join instead of a relationship, you double click on the table that's open in the logical or relationship canvas, and now we see orders, and now we could bring any of these additional worksheets on. I'm going to bring on returns, and you'll notice that now we see the join symbol saying that orders and returns are joined together. You could tell the type of join by the shading within this Venn diagram. If you click the Venn diagram, it's going to tell you how the join is being done, and you can modify that. You could add additional fields in the join. You could change the equal sign to anything else to do other types of joins, and you could change the join from an inner to a left to a right, and to a full outer. We're going to leave this as an inner just because I'm just simply demonstrating how to create the joins. And then as we scroll over, you'll notice over here we see returns and orders. So we see where the data is coming from, what table, either orders or returns. The next thing I want to do is, and we'll leave this join as it is, but the next thing I want to do is show you how we can add another data source in order to create a multi-database join. So I'm going to click add, then I'm going to simply click on more, and I'm going to open up this world indicators.hyper. That's an extract, but clearly a different database. I'm going to open that up, and you'll notice that again, as soon as I open that up, because I was already in this physical layer where I can create joins, you could see that it automatically created a join for me. I did not have to drag this out. Again, it's an inner join, and if I click on this or double click on this, let's see, I'll get it to work even. So if I double click on again the Venn diagram, you'll see how Tableau has decided to create this join. It's using the field country region that you can see right here from the orders worksheet. And if I scroll over, you'll see also somewhere over here country region in the world indicators data source. And so that's how it's doing the join. You'll also notice that we've got different colors. So we have blue to indicate the data that's coming from the order and returns join, and then we have yellow to indicate all the data that's coming from the extract, but this is the world indicators. And then I'm not going to go ahead and do anything. Whoops, excuse me. But you can now see when we go to a data sheet, we've got all the data available that we're used to seeing from orders, from returns, and from the world indicators. So we have all of this information that is now accessible to us in order to do our analysis of both the Superstore, in addition to having these various world indicator data as well. So that's how you create joins in Tableau, and that's how you create multi-database joins. All right, as was mentioned earlier, you can use calculations in a join. So I just want to give you an example of where you might want to do that, or where you'd have to do that. And as I go over this example, keep in mind that that there are other ways to do this, as there are multiple ways to always do things within Tableau. But a different way of doing this would be in combination with data prep, which we're going to be learning about next, and Tableau Desktop. But so this is an example of just using a calculation in a join, and you'd have to do that if you wanted to join these two tables together. We have a patron table and a contact table, and you can see in the contact table the name field has first name and last name in one column, but in the patron table we have first name and last name separated into two columns. But if we wanted to join these two tables together using name, we can within Tableau just by creating a calculated field. And so here's an example of that. You could kind of see on the top we created a join between patron and contact, and you sort of see that red exclamation point because Tableau is saying, hey, I don't see anything here that matches. And what we're doing is under the data source related to patron, clicking on create a join calculation. And then the calculation that you could see being made is a simple string calculation where we're taking first name plus a space plus last name and creating a field called join calculation. Once we have that, then we could use that calculation on the data source. So on the patron side, you can see that the calculation, and on the contact table side, you see name, and we're able to make that join. And then what you see below is the result of the join. This is an inner join, so we're only going to be retrieving records from the patron table and the contact table in which the first and last names match, and that happen to only be Alan Wang and Fred Suzuki, and that's why we are only seeing those two records. So that's how you use calculations in a join. It's a simple calculation, it's a string calculation, but any kind of calculation that you could do in Tableau can be incorporated as a join clause.